Hi friends, so this is my Oracle card video, take two, because the first one did not upload, as I'm sure you're all well aware by now if you've been following along with Vlogmas. That is Bodhi in the background. They just got a new bone tonight. I'm recording this on Saturday night the 11th. I am going to take you, thought Aria was coughing. I am going to take you through all of my Oracle card decks. I'm going to talk about how I do my one-on-one private card readings, how you can book a reading, all the fun stuff. So let's get started. Alright, quick glasses change because my eyes are starting to bother me. I've been on the computer for way too long. So, the very first actual Oracle deck that I bought is this Work Your Light deck by Rebecca Campbell. Yes. And I bought it because it's so gorgeous. All the pastel colors, and I was just super drawn to it. They always say you should buy a deck that you are drawn to. So every deck is going to come with a guidebook with a little like forward from the author talking about the deck. There's going to be suggestions for like spreads you can do with the deck, and then there's going to be a description for every card in the deck of what the author or creator of the deck envisioned, kind of what they wanted for a description of the card. But you will learn, if you get into reading Oracle cards, that you don't have to go by that description and you can really trust your own intuition with it. That's a big difference between Oracle and Tarot, which we will get into the differences of all of that in this video. Don't fret. So this is the back of these cards. They're all the same on the back. So pretty. Here is an example of a card. This is actually on top because we pulled this in my empowerment community Sunday night. So I do a card pull every Sunday night in my empowerment community on Patreon for the upper two tiers, and I pull one card. Usually I pull one card from each of my decks. Sometimes it's different depending on what's going on. So here's just an example. You can kind of see the colors on these cards. It's just gorgeous. Lots of pinks, lots of pastels. It says you are the Oracle in the back of the box. I love this deck. I feel like it can be kind of woo-woo sometimes with the cards and the messages, but it always comes together, whether I'm pulling multiple cards from this deck for one reading or if I'm using it with another deck. So when I do my one-on-one private readings, I pull from multiple decks. I pull from 3 of my decks. That's called deck stacking. And this deck I pull 3 cards from specifically when I'm doing my private readings. So I do a past, present, future pull, 3 cards, obviously, from this deck. I love this deck. Alright, the next deck that I got, because they're kind of like tattoos, like you get one and you just need more. I have 7 tattoos and 10 decks, so you know, I definitely want more tattoos. Anyway, let's focus. Okay, so next is my Moonology Oracle deck by Yasmin, Boland. And this deck I also use in my one-on-one private readings. I pull one card from this deck and I have the person think of a question and then not say it out loud. And then we pull one card as kind of like an answer for their question. These cards can be a little bit more direct. So like they have what the card says, what moon it's representing, the description of the card, a way to attune to the moon, additional meanings for the card, and the teaching of the card. So each book's going to be different depending on the author, right? Some have more, some have less. So this is the back of these cards, just the different moon phases, and then each card has their message. And like this one is blue moon, this one says confidence is your key to success, new moon in Leo. So just a different, a lot of these are upside down, vibe with this deck. But I really like this deck, especially for pulling for myself, because like I said, it's very direct and tells you what you need to do. So yeah, I love this one. All right, the last deck that I use in my one-on-one readings is the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. I said this about the last two, but I really, really, really love this one. If you know me at all, which you're watching the vlog, you probably know me some by now. I'm a huge animal person, of course. So I really wanted a Spirit Animal Oracle, and this one is huge. It's 68 cards. The book is super thick, and these cards have messages for the card right side up and messages for the card in the reverse position, which Oracle decks don't all have that. They aren't all intended to be read right side up and upside down, but tarot always can be read right side up and upside down. Just another difference. So here is the back of these. Very pretty. And then each card is a different animal, and it has a different message on it. So this one says, Rhino Spirit, overcome any obstacle. So pretty. Just like the artwork on these is unreal. Like, oh, here's cat. Okay. Oh my gosh, and the cow, one of my favorites. And the cat, so pretty. So this deck I start my one-on-one readings with. I pull 4 cards. I pull like an overall theme card, and then I pull a feminine energy, heart center, male energy card. So because we all have female and male energy, and usually with this deck it always is right. It always hits the spot. It's always, the person always knows what it's talking about. I've always known. When I use it, I feel very connected to it. It's very pretty and just, I don't know, it's just a magical deck. Which they all are in their own way, right? Alright, this next deck is my newest to me deck, but it's by the same lady who does the Spirit Animal deck. This is the Crystal Spirit Oracle, and each card is a different crystal. And this one is a 58 card deck, and I'm still kind of learning a lot with this one because I don't know a ton about crystals. I'm very new to it. But this book for these cards has an essential meaning, a description of the card, a relationship message, a prosperity message, and a crystal spirit meditation you can do with a specific crystal. So as you can see, they're all very uniquely their own in Oracle, not in Tarot. So here is the back of these. Is it gonna focus for you? Very pretty. And then each one is a different crystal. These are upside, I don't know why I keep holding them upside down. But yeah, so very cool, very pretty. I've learned a lot with this deck. The artwork is really cohesive to the message of the book, which is nice. And yeah, I'm just still kind of learning it, working with it. So right now I just pull it in my weekly Oracle card pulls that I do in Patreon, but that's about all that I'm doing with that deck right now. All right, another deck that I am learning, and my last Oracle deck I'm going to show you, or that I even have to show you, is the Star Codes Astro Oracle. I got this because it's by Heather Roan Robbins. This I got because I want to learn more about astrology. It's like a never-ending thing, right? There's so much. These cards, the book has a description, an action, a challenge, and a gift for each card. And each card is directly related to something astrologically, right? So like this one says is for Leo. So some of them are for different signs. Some of them are for, like, this one is progressions, which is like a way you can move on your birth chart. This one is for Saturn, so like different planets. It's just all of the things you got. Solar flares, north node, south node, like everything. Savannah's coughing, my baby. She has an enlarged heart. She's been really coughing this weekend. It's really, that's my alarm. It's really stressing me out. My banana. Okay. So we're like third house. So the artwork on these cards has a lot going on. Then they have like a little message underneath. So this one is communication. And I feel like there's so much you could do with this deck. Ooh, this one's pretty. Venus. It says beloved. So there's a lot you can do with this, I think, and there's a lot of potential for these, I think, for reading people. If you are super knowledgeable about astrology, like I certainly won't be charging people to use this deck or using this deck in any readings I'm charging for, because I don't feel like I'm knowledgeable enough about astrology yet to fully give them the full message, right? So that is my star codes astro deck. And I should also say I got most of my decks on Amazon, but I did get one at like a spiritual shop, one at like Barnes and Noble. So there's a lot of different places you can get them, but there are there's a lot available on Amazon. Okay, let's talk tarot. If you want to know a lot more than I'm saying in this video, I did a podcast and a blog post about reading oracle cards. You don't need to check out both because they're pretty much the same things, but you know, everybody has their vice of how they like to get info. So there's an episode of the podcast, the Empowerment Circle podcast, or it's on my blog, jessicarosecornish.com, and I go way more in depth, I do. So this is my tarot deck. It is the Modern Witch Tarot. I got this on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, I can't remember. They both have it. And I had seen it for so long. I was super drawn to it. I love the artwork. And I just really wanted it, even though I know nothing about tarot. I knew nothing about tarot when I got it. I have since learned some. Every deck is the same in that there's the same amount of cards. It's made up of major and minor arcana. So you're always going to have an 8 of cups. You're always going to have an ace of cups. You're always going to have a 5 of pentacles. You're always going to have the chariot. Like, you're going to have exactly the same cards in every tarot deck. Just the art is going to be different. So here is the Queen of Cups in this deck. Just show you some of the artwork. I should say tarot is can be a little more dramatic and blunt and direct, like this card where it's the 10 of Swords and you're just like being stabbed, but you're on your cell phone, like, chill, it's fine. This is just my life now. Every tarot deck, like I said, can be read right side up, upside down. 2 of Cups. Okay, so I love, oh, here we go. Come on. The High Priestess. So good. So, tarot, I don't even know where to go. What to say next. A tarot deck is going to have a little book that comes with it, but there are just universal meanings for each thing. I do not use tarot in any readings that I charge people for. I am definitely still learning it. And yeah, I mean, you have like, I don't know, it's just, it's like I don't even know what to say because I don't want to say anything wrong. There's so much with it. So if you want to know more about tarot, I'm not your person. I will say Oracle is much more intuitive, much more what you get from it, what you see in the card, what it brings up, what you're feeling. Whereas tarot is like, this is what's going on. This is what you're doing wrong. It's a lot more direct, and there's not necessarily room for interpretation because it's telling you. So I will say the artwork on this specific deck I was really drawn to because it's very inclusive, and I don't know if I can show this on YouTube because she's naked on the card. Okay, but it's very inclusive of skin colors, body types, genders, and all the things, which is very important to have if you're gonna have a deck that has people on it, people represented. So I really liked that, hence why it's called Modern Witch Tarot. So there's a lot with tarot. You can just pick it up and start playing with it 100%. I mean, that's essentially what I did. I have bought a couple books on it. I showed one in my book haul video, and then I showed the newest one I just bought at Five Below. It's $5 in my day 11 Vlogmas. You can check those out. But tarot's a lot. You can definitely get it, learn it. You can buy multiple decks, and just like you do oracle decks, but it is definitely its own practice. Okay, lastly, I'm going to show you these decks that aren't really oracle, but in the same area. So this is actually the first deck I ever bought. It's called the Self-Care Oracle. And basically each card is a different act of self-care. This is by Jill Pyle. And each day has a mantra. If you're in Patreon, we always draw Connect with Your Womb. Always. It's like comical. We pulled it twice and now I just opened right to it. Each card has a mantra, a description, and then a journal prompt. So connect with your womb, ladies. I pull that card all the freaking time. This is the back of these. And then, like, here's Connect with Fire. I've drawn that one before. Some of these decks I've had so long, and I always draw the same cards, and there's cards I've never pulled. Connect with Crystals. They're not all about connecting. Abundance Planning. Look at the cat. Let's see. Ooh, Aromatherapy. Nourish Your Temple. So I really like the artwork on these, and I love self-care and self-love and all of those things. So it says take care of yourself so you can let your light shine. Oh, just kidding. So you can shine your soul's light. Same idea. Anyway, I like this deck a lot. Usually in my Sunday nights I try and pull one of these just so we can have something to do during the week if we're trying to think of something to do for ourselves. Self-care. The next deck, this is an Affirmation Cards for Women deck. And so the back of these is just white. This is by Casey Weekend. Nope, it's not gonna focus. Okay, well, you're just gonna have to believe me. And then each card has a different affirmation on it. Very girly, pink and floral, very fun. So this one says, the very thing that may be overwhelming me at this moment, someone else is praying for. That's a good reminder. All right, this is my newest kind of non-oracle woo-woo deck, but it's Spirit Junkie by Gabrielle Bernstein. I bought this after I read her book Super Attractor, which is actually the first book of hers I read. I know it's not her first book, but this is the back of these cards, and then each one has a different quote on it. So this one says it's safe to slow down, relax, and let go. And the artwork on these, I was gonna say is super different, but these two don't look too different. They even have the same moon, crescent moon. Okay, so there's a different looking one. Okay. So you can see they're very different. I do these on my Instagram stories a lot. I'll just pull two and people can pick like in a little poll which one they want for the day or the week. So if you want to do that, you can follow me on Instagram at the Jessica Rose Cornish. So there's 52 affirmations in this deck also, which I like because then you could pull a different one every week for the year. Ooh, maybe we'll do that in 2022. How exciting. Little YouTube spirit junkie pull each week when I do a vlog, and I'm not doing them every day like Vlogmas. Although we haven't hit every day. We've missed some days. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Last but not least, this adorable deck my sweet friend Jessica sent to me. Therapets. 64 emotional support animal cards. Okay, you have to see the back of these first of all. So cute. They're huge and like super like slick, but each one has just like a cute little message on it. Self-care the crap out of life and you'll get through okay. At first, while I was reading that, I didn't know if I'd be able to read backwards. Did you catch that? Here's, you are going to get through this just fine. Look at that little guy. It's not focusing. Oh, he like matches the nails. He's here for the aesthetic. Oh my god, look at this one. You've been doing a great job considering all you've been up against. Nice little messages. How many are in here? 64. Could pull one of those every week too. So Therapets, you can get this on Amazon. Actually, this one, the self-care and the affirmations deck are all on Amazon. If you want a little linky loo, I can get you a link. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do to end this video is pull one card from the 3 decks I use in my one-on-one card readings, and I'm gonna pull for us for, we'll say 2022, maybe like a nice little message for the new year. So first we're gonna pull from the spirit animal deck, and the way my tripod is, you won't be able to see me shuffle, but you can. Before I do a reading, I have like my whole ritual I do when I'm doing it with one-on-one clients, and I use my crystals. I've got my 2 biggies out, and I knock on the cards 3 times. I call in the guides for me and that person. I say, God's guides, angels, and ancestors of the highest good be with us now and bring forth the message. And I can feel it. Like, I feel it come on. I can feel it right now. And it's just like a warm, tingly, it feels good. Hello there. I can like really feel it right now. So then I will have the person say, do a little thing, and we'll start the reading. But obviously you and I are separate, so we're just gonna take a deep breath in and let it out. We knocked on our cards, now we're gonna shuffle them. Usually while I'm shuffling them, I will say in my head, like, God's guides, angels, and ancestors bring forth the highest good. And I will shuffle the cards. And I'm sorry you can't see it, but you're just gonna have to trust that's what's happening. Okay. Oh my god. I cannot even make this up to you. I did this video and I pulled cards and then the video didn't upload and I just pulled the exact same one. What is happening? That was like a week ago. Okay, so we got Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back. And we just pulled this card last week in the empowerment community, but we pulled it upside down. Okay, so obviously this is so pretty, such a high vibe, and going into 2022, you definitely want Spirit to have your back. So I'm going to read you the message that the book has for this card. So here we go. I'll put it right here. Think of the eagles flying high above the other birds, soaring on the wind. Eagle Spirit has appeared to ask whether you're willing to soar to new heights, even if that means solitude for a short while. Truly, all the wisdom of the world is available to you. When storms flash across the sky, it is Eagle Spirit that raises you above it all, helping you conquer fear and overcome adversity, reminding you that Spirit has your back and wants you to experience life at its fullest. At this moment, you are meant to know that you have the highest of wisdom and courage within, gifted to you by Spirit and all the angels. Boldly build your nest in a lofty space and know that you can fly effortlessly, proudly embodying Eagle Spirit in all her glory and grace, claiming what is truly yours in divine timing. That's such a nice message for the new year. We are starting off on a very good foot. So, Eagle Spirit, Spirit has your back. When I do my one-on-one readings, I do read from the book, but then after we've done the pull for each deck, we kind of interpret it together, talk about the overall message, the overall meaning. So now we're gonna pull from the Work Your Light deck. Okay, let's cut the deck. Sorry you can't see me shuffling, but hopefully you can hear it. You can hear it and imagine what's happening. You've seen people shuffle cards before. Interesting. I pull this card a lot from this deck. That says more about me than the deck. All right, going into 2022, boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? And I love the artwork on this card, how it's showing her setting kind of these boundaries and keeping these things at arm's length that she shouldn't be letting it close to her. And then just like the high vibe energy that's like going up her and this like crown. It's like good things happen when you set boundaries. I had to set boundaries and it was life-changing. It took a long time to get there, but it was so worth it. Let's read what it says. Okay. You are being called to create clearer boundaries in your life. This could be with your friends, family, or work. Saying yes when you really mean no leads to resentment, which is the biggest energy drain ever. At first, it might only be a little bit and not feel like a big deal. But before you know it, your energy field becomes porous and you are left feeling depleted, resentful, or taken advantage of. Saying no and having clear boundaries is actually a spiritual act. The most giving, loving, compassionate people are those with the clearest boundaries. For when they say yes, they are able to give unconditionally. When your boundaries are clear, others know where they stand and you are able to give freely. If you are not clear where your boundaries lie, this causes confusion, resentment, and energetic cords to be planted. If you are saying yes when you really mean no, you are likely needing something yourself. Ask yourself what part of me needs something from them. It could be a need for approval, a fear of being seen a certain way, or a fear of loss. The best way to gauge your boundaries is to check in with your belly. Your belly is the second brain. It has an intelligence known as your gut feelings. Tune into this space when deciding what is okay for you. How does it feel? What is it trying to communicate with you? So good. Very good reminder. Or not even reminder, like nudge kind of from Spirit. Like, don't forget to set those boundaries. Like, don't start off 2022 saying yes when you mean no. That's a good way to set up your year for success is to set boundaries. All right, we're gonna pull one more and we'll be done from Moonology. So let's see how this one brings it all together. I guess I could have knocked up high. Could have knocked up high for you. Okay. Shuffle these. This deck, I pull a lot of the same cards too. This will be interesting. This is good. Okay, I see how it all comes together already. We got full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. Time to release negativity. I'm just looking at the artwork on these. And just kind of like the purpley is the same. This like little spiral is kind of the same as these. You always want to notice those things when you're reading cards. Okay, so I can tell you before I even read what the book says, what the overall message of this is. So, Spirit has your back, okay? Soar with the wings of eagles. That's the thing. That's a song. Focus. Okay. Spirit has your back. You can do whatever you need to do. You can fly high. You can follow your dreams. Now's the time. But you're gonna have to set boundaries. And you're gonna have to release negativity. And something tells me that the negativity you're gonna re-releasing, how you're gonna do it, has a lot to do with setting boundaries. And I will tell you from personal experience, you shouldn't get this personal in the vlog, you just save that for the podcast. But setting boundaries is a fantastic way to release negativity. You will be astonished. It might not be easy, especially if the boundaries you need to set are with family or friends you've had for years. Life-changing. Releasing negativity, especially, we did this poll for going into the new year. Don't start off the new year with that. Like, I'm gonna go into like a whole podcast coaching thing right now. I'm trying to rate it in, not coach at you. Release negativity. Let's rein it in. Let me not do a whole thing in your ear right now. And let's just read what the book says about it's time to release negativity. Okay. If you've been feeling paranoid and acting weird, take this card as a very direct message from the cosmos to stop it. Worrying yourself is pointless. It's time to release any negativity you have around the situation you're asking about. If someone has been unkind to you, perhaps it's time to release them. Set a boundary. This card heralds an emotionally intense time, since both the full moon and Scorpio themselves are both extremely intense. It's time for you to feel all your feelings. There could be some nastiness in the air when you pull this card. If that's the case, take it as a sign to move away from anyone or anything you feel is toxic. What did I just say? For some, however, this card has a totally different meaning. Your sex life can improve now if you make an effort. Girl! Use your magic. You have all you need inside you to bring about your desired result. Hubba hubba. To attune to the moon, it says emote. It's all better out than in. That is very true. Then the additional meanings it has for this card are, it's time to move from living fearfully to living joyfully. You're right to have your suspicions. Grudges are toxic. Let something go. And the end of an argument. The teaching is, the full moon in Scorpio has a sting in its tail. It can herald a vindictive end to a relationship. It can also be a time when we want to be good, but we're naughty. I did not know this card was going to have such sexual undertones. If you pull this card, no matter when, your dark side and your shadow self may be showing. The full moon in Scorpio is also a time of magic. If you were thinking of making some magic, this is your sign to do it. Because Spirit has your back. So no matter what you took from that description, Spirit has your back. I'm running out of battery. Hey friends, charged my battery overnight and I'm back with my natural, very, very thin lack of hair. So I don't know if I've gone au natural on the vlog before. Here we are. So just to wrap up the very nice message we got from our cards. I thought I had pulled all 3 back out, but I didn't. Oh no. Hold please. Okay, found it. So no matter what you took from our surprisingly sexual card, Eagle Spirit, Spirit has your back, soar, fly like an eagle. That's the song, right? On the wings of eagles. That's another song, right? Okay. You can soar in 2022 if you set boundaries and release the negativity. These two especially go hand in hand, but I mean, they all go together. But releasing the negativity through boundaries is gonna help you do all the things that Spirit has your back on, all the things you've been nervous on. You don't have to be nervous because Spirit has your back. And this is your time, and because you're releasing your negativity and you're putting boundaries in place, your options are limitless. You can do whatever you set your mind to. This was a great 2020 was not great. This is a great 2022 spread. So if you want to book a private one-on-one reading with me, you can do so on my website or the link in my Instagram bio. My website is www.jessicarosecornish.com. I'll put it on the screen and then I'll put it in the description below. My Instagram is @JessicaRoseCornish. Put a link, put it on the screen. I would love to connect with you and pull cards for you and help you in that way. I will say the prices for card readings are going up in January. If you want to get in at the current pricing, you're going to want to hop over and do that. Get your booking in ASAP. So, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.